Mega Dads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Mega Dads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another exciting episode of Mega Dads Live. I'm super excited today because I am here with my best bud, Clay Miraculous Howard, and I am Antonio, aka Hypecaster. And whether you're listening for the 100th time or the first time, I want to thank you so much for being here. Clay, usually we do like a get to know you, a conversational opener from Mega Dads, but we have a special thing going on, me and you, and it's multiple choice pop quizzes. So I have one for you regarding the Star Fox franchise, a pop quiz to see how much you know your stuff. And we're going to put Clay on the spot. He has no idea this is happening. This is very easy, by the way. Are you a big Star Fox fan?
I'd put myself at just around like 50 to 75%, somewhere in that percentile of like fandom. I'm in
fandom.
there.
You're
so I'm like above average, maybe.
Above average fandom. Okay. Question 1. What kind of animal is the main protagonist in the Star Fox franchise? Is it A, a wolf, B, fox, or C, falcon?
I'm gonna go with fox.
Yeah, it's B, fox. Correct. All right, this is getting harder now. What is the name of Fox McCloud's trusted starfighter? Is it A, the Blue Falcon, B, the R-Wing, or C, Landmaster?
The R-Wing?
Yes, B, R-Wing. Question 3. Which member of the Star Fox team is known for saying often, "do a barrel roll"? Is it A, Falco, B, Slippy, or C, Peppy?
C, Peppy, final answer.
All right. Final 2 questions here. Question 4. What is the name of Fox McCloud's father, the original leader of the Star Fox team? Is it A, James, B, Bill, or C, Andy?
A, final answer.
A, correct, James McCloud. And the final question, question 5. In the original Star Fox 64, what is the name of the rival mercenary team that frequently opposes Star Fox? Is it A, the Wolf Pack, B, Star Wolf, or C, Black Hole Squadron?
B, final answer.
That is correct.
I did it.
Excellent. Now,
big money.
You redeemed yourself. We did another multiple choice quiz when we were talking about Lego Batman, about the Batman franchise. So that was fun. I am super excited to talk about the game that we were going to talk about today, which is Star Fox. But I wanted to give really quick a little bit of background for me on the franchise. I realized after I started playing this game that I had played more of the Star Fox on Super NES, and I played that through over and over again. I couldn't put it down. I did like all the paths, and I remember, I don't know if I was good at it. No, I was good at it because I remember trying to ace and get like the top like scores at the end, and the way they presented the scores was just like iconic to me. So I realized after I started playing this game that I didn't really play too much of the Star Fox 64. I must have played it like at someone's house or rental, or I remember I was like, what other scenario could that have been? I could have rented it a couple times, but what is your experience with Star Fox? You say you're kind of like a medium fan.
Yeah, so one of the first Super Nintendo games I ever remember playing was the original Star Fox. I remember how confused I was on day one that up was down and down was up. That blew my mind. And I remember my dad trying to explain like a joystick, because we had like a PC joystick, and he's like, remember, when you pull up, like you throttle up. And I was like, okay, all right, yeah, or whatever. And so like I remember that a long time ago. But so we did play that one, and we played it quite a bit. as we did any Super Nintendo game back then. We didn't have a lot of them, especially earlier on. And so, but then also when the N64 game came out, I obviously played that probably twice as much as I did the Super Nintendo one. So I'm a little different than you, Tony. I did play the Super Nintendo one. I wasn't as good at it. I don't think we could get as far collectively, me and my brothers, but the N64 one we definitely played more of. I was never the master of that game. I didn't have all the alternate routes and the hard difficult like that. I knew some of them and I learned some of them over time, but for many years I just played the game the one route I knew how to play, and it would very rarely did me or my brothers figure out alternate routes. Either we just weren't smart enough or we didn't know to look or whatever. But I think over time, other friends and family kind of showed us some routes, and then we learned, so there is kind of different ways to play through this, and learned that later on, and probably didn't really explore the N64 game as well as I should have. But regardless of that, and only really knowing one way to play it, I still really enjoyed it. I remember playing multiplayer with my brothers when I was a kid, and so tons of memories there. I've played a lot of the later games, not all of them, but most of them I've played over the years, even including the most recent Wii U game that came out. And so I've played a lot of them. I played the remake on 3DS of the N64 one and played that and really enjoyed it. And so I've got quite a bit, I guess, experience, you could say.
You know your stuff then. Yeah, I would be very much more of it on the casual side of the Star Fox fandom.
More than 12 years ago, Megadad started as a place for an older generation to go to talk about their love of video games. We know that just because you get older doesn't mean you stop having fun, and gaming will always be our passion. But just as people grow and change over the years, so has Megadads, and that's why today's Megadads celebrates fun, fully grown.
We know your interests are broad. Ours are too. And while video games will always be at the core of what we do, we're dedicated to showing you all the ways we celebrate fun, fully grown here at Megadads.
Whether it's playing the latest video games,
checking out the coolest movies,
finding the rarest cards,
unboxing amazing collectibles,
or simply exploring the world around us,
you can be sure you'll get coverage of the best that life has to offer. There's so much to enjoy in this world, and we here at Megadads are dedicated to showing it to you. So subscribe today and come by every day, because this is Megadads, fun, fully grown.
Well, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about our game today. Star Fox, which is exclusive for the Nintendo Switch 2. It is developed by Velan Studios and published by Nintendo, and it is an on-rail shooter in the action arcade genre. It's available now. For me, this game is special. Like, it's very good at the time that it's coming out, in like some action arcade. I was like in the mood, and when I was playing, I said out loud, this is exactly what I want to be doing right now, like as the gameplay, the whole experience. So I was like pleasantly surprised. What did you think of the game overall?
So I remember, and I've already shared this on the show, I was a little disappointed that it was another remake when it was first announced. But regardless, I'm a huge fan of the N64, and I really like that game. So, like, at the end of the day, I'm still going to pick it up and I'm going to play it. The fact that it was even slightly less of a price, it was cheaper than a lot of the games we've gotten on the Switch 2, was even more like, this is a no-brainer. Like, I'm definitely picking this up. But yeah, I would say overall, I was very impressed. I actually think that this is a really well done remaster, if you will. I think they did most of the things right. Could they have done a little more? Just speaking overall, like, is there moments where I was like, oh, it'd be cool if they added something here or did something here? Yes, but man, this is like a really faithful, like almost one-to-one recreation, if not one-to-one recreation of the original game, like beat for not necessarily beat for beat. Like they updated some of the dialogue, but a lot of it is still the same lines. It's the same music, and so but overall I think they did a really good job with it, and overall I'm super happy with it. I think I got my money's worth, and if Nintendo would continue to make remasters like this, I would be ecstatic, because I think they did a great job. They added just enough extra stuff that I feel like there's more to do than just playing through the missions like you would back on the N64. There's still more on top of what you would get, but then it's still the core experience that I expect at the very least from the N64 game. And so visually gorgeous game, absolutely beautiful, looks so good and looked amazing on my big screen TV, looked great in handheld mode right up against my face. The music and the score to this game is amazing.
I'm so glad you said that. Yep.
Anybody who appreciated the original, like if you want like a full orchestra version of that original soundtrack, like this is it. And man, it sounds so good. The menu music, I remember that song from the N64, but I don't really remember it being as iconic, or I don't remember like it striking me as much. But when I heard the remake in this one, I was like, I just stopped and I just sat there and listened to it for a while. And dude, it's so good. It's like one of my favorite songs now. And so they just did a really good job with it. The challenge mode that is an additional thing they added that I'm having a blast with. Tony, I don't know how much you've gotten a chance to mess with it, but it's really fun. There's a normal difficulty and then it goes to an expert difficulty, and there's some challenging stuff on there. I've barely broken the surface, so there's a lot to do here. If you're a fan of the N64 one, like this, it's a no-brainer for me. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but man, there's just so much here. And it doesn't feel like too much, and it doesn't feel like not enough, in my opinion. And so you could spend 10 hours of this game and walk away, or you could easily put 50 plus hours in and have a great time.
Yeah, that was one of the most surprising things, because you're obviously, flying through these levels. And one of the things that I messaged to you, one of my first comments on the game, were like, these levels are incredibly short. Like more so than I remembered, like that short. Yet at the end of the levels, I'm like I don't mind playing them again. Plus, I actually died a lot in this game. We'll talk about like the difficulty, at some point, but it's just, there's a lot to do with the branching paths, with if you die, with trying to get like the secrets unlocked, things like that. I think it's a meaty game. I was wondering, because I heard about the play times being like incredibly low, but I'm like, oh, I forgot about the like, is it worth it to go to other places? And it is, because you're having completely different gameplay. Before we started, we were sharing like, oh, are you on this level? It's like, oh, that's a completely separate path that I haven't been on. It's just it's a really great arcade experience. Like, it's not, you have to know what it's trying to do and remember what games were like back then. And like, oh, it wants me to play like this in order to win. There's like tricks to stuff. Just the pacing, like what it meant to like replay a game was different like back then. So very, very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot that they could have done, a lot of layers, but overall I was just like incredibly satisfied. Talking about the music, it is by far the best part of the game, and the graphics are like right up there. I totally agree. Like, just fantastic. You're just listening to it. Like, my wife, like, she was next to me and I had the TV on. She's like, whoa, like that sounds crazy. Like, just up in passing, you see it. Something that caught me off guard, right? Let's talk about the unexpected stuff. The emotion in the voice acting was actually really well done. Like, I thought that the characters looked weird at first, and as soon as I started judging it, like, which is right around level 2 or whatever, like in the early game, I was like, Fox is not doing it for me. And then he like starts getting mad and is like it's better emotion and voice acting than I've seen in like half the stuff out there. It was like decent. I kind of cared. I guess you're supposed to not like Falco, right? Because he's like a true like ass in this. I was like, you're a dick, and like. He doesn't really have an arc. I'm like, okay, is there going to be like some like arc here? And I got the bad ending and there really wasn't. So I don't know. But he was dead half the time because I suck at the game. but that caught me off guard. Like just the emotion, the characters, everything worked there. It continued to work throughout the game. What surprised you? Anything at all? Even
First
though
of
it's kind of
all,
been there, done that.
Falco is the Vegeta of
the
Star Fox.
Vegeta.
So
I
he's like
understand. I
always in
instantly
competition with the lead.
Yeah.
But deep down he respects him and it is like they kind of keep each other in pace. They're rivals, but friends.
It's like
And,
us.
Yeah, we
Okay.
iron sharpens iron. You're
You're the Falco for sure. No offense.
Oh,
but-
I literally almost said when you were saying like I kind of identify as the Falco of the group.
you
know?
are
Kind of
Falco. No, absolutely.
But it's what makes it makes the slippies, it toughens them up a little bit. You got the slippies or the Daves,
Something else is the vibes. Like I got Star Wars vibes. Like off the charts. I was like, this R-Wing feels great. Like zipping around. I'm like, this is what I want from this type of game. I just thought it was like fantastic. Just the way that the controls are. It just felt like just enough. It got me like back into that old school gaming thing again.
Yeah.
I need to critique something about like the low level laser is not satisfying to use. It's not satisfying to kill things with, and it's like the worst experience. And you're doing that the most when you have to tap. The holding and the burst is like fun because things are like blowing up, but that kind of like bothered me. The Landmaster is absolutely horrible. A big theme for me with the game is that I think it's difficult. I died a lot. I thought I was stuck. Like I was literally attempt after attempt. I had to bring it all the way down to easy. There's some of the gameplay is like I was like either give me a turbo button or let me like remap the button to have hold trigger be like push laser. Like I was that lazy about it. I'm like, this is not good. What did you think of the controls? Are you
The
good?
controls?
Yeah, you think they're
I thought it was
all
great.
the gameplay holds up. Did you like the tank stuff?
Yeah, I had no issues with the tank. I thought it controlled
Damn.
great. I thought the controls were great. I thought that they updated a few things, minor things that I can think of, but really overall, I think it controls really well. And I'm not great at it. My aim's not perfect, and especially in some of the higher difficulty stuff, could feel kind of the talent gap there. Like I'm not really pulling this off as much as I think I am, and so I have thoughts about the difficulty, and we can talk about that later.
Did you die and fail or like?
All right, so here's how it
think?
went. So I did a first run through, and I did the easy route, kind of just a standard route. Got from start to finish, no problems. I didn't die any, as far as I can remember. Maybe on the final boss, Andros gave me a little difficulty. I didn't lose any companions the entire time.
What?
I remember thinking this was a little too easy, but this was on normal difficulty. Because when you start a game now, you have easy, normal, and hard, which in the original game you didn't. It just depending on what path you took was how difficult it was. So I did a normal difficulty, easy path, got start to finish, finished it, and then it was like, oh, that's not the real Andros. You have to do the true ending. I was like, all right, well, obviously I'm going to try some different alternate routes. So I started doing alternate routes, started finding these harder routes, and that was when I started to run into issues. I started having teammates dying, I started dying, but it wasn't really toward the very end that I had the most difficulty. Specifically fighting Star Wolf and his team at the very end when they come back. Basically, if you don't fight them earlier on where you normally do, then you fight them at the end, and they have like upgraded ships. And at normal difficulty, it is rage-inducingly hard, and I got so frustrated, and I went through a whole batch of lives, still did not beat it. And then once I got a game over, it allows you to restart, like keep going, or it'll let you downgrade to a lower difficulty.
Right.
And so I went down to easy at that point, went on to Andros, and then couldn't beat Andros. So I quit. I was so frustrated. Came back the next day, got back to Star Wolf again, got decimated. And then today, right before we recorded, I got back in there. I used every single life. I think I had like 7 lives, dude, because there's no other way to change the difficulty as far as I could tell other than lose all 7 of my lives. Not intentionally. I literally tried to beat it every time. I got down to like 2 of them being left. That was as far as I got. Kept getting killed. Anyway, finally downgraded to easy. Went to Andros for the second time on the hard, and I finally was able to beat him first try and beat the game, and finally got the true ending, if you will. I think there's only one level that I haven't played. I think it's the other tank level that I haven't played. I think I hit every other one of them, unless I'm missing something. So I probably am. But I got really, really frustrated at the end, but I also feel like I got a lot better. The Star Wolf thing is really ridiculous, but then when I looked it up on like Reddit and stuff, apparently that's how it is on the N64 game too. So I think it's just beat for beat. Like if it was unfair back then, it's unfair now. For instance, if you die on the second part of the final boss, you have to start not just at the beginning of the boss, but you also have to go back to like the tunnel entrance, and you have to go through, like, fly through these tunnels before you actually come to the. And it's just like, that's so antiquated. It shouldn't be like that. But like, they didn't change it. They're not like, they weren't like, we're here to like cut things down and like make things make more sense for a modern audience. They're like, if it was unfair or ridiculous then, like, that's what it is now. And so enemies are just shooting you in the back, really, and you have to like instantly do flips and get them off your back and then try to shoot somebody else. The lock on doesn't work on them. It's tough. So there is definitely some difficulty in here. I was not having the difficulty early on in the easier side of things that you were having, but I think it might just maybe come with some experience, but I don't know. It's still plenty difficult if you want it to be. And I didn't even touch the hard difficulty of the game. And so I could put it in hard and run through, and they just make it even more challenging for you. So there's plenty to do. You could get really good at it. The challenges get way harder. The one thing I will say that I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I do wish they would have taken a little bit of a risk and added something. One thing I thought about is I loved the prequel kind of soft open they did with James McLeod, where they showed that, because the only way you got that was, I think, in the instruction booklet was the only where you like got that story, if I remember correctly.
Oh, crazy.
Maybe you piece some of it together from like dialogue, or maybe it's in the opening cutscene. I can't remember, but right at the end of that cutscene, I almost thought they were about to cut to us, and we were going to get to play as James McLeod and like fight off some bad guys for a little bit.
Yeah,
and I was like,
what I thought was going to happen.
I was like, maybe they'll like add some like additional little like mini levels, or like even if it's not like a full on rails level, but just like fly around and shoot some bad guys before the next cutscene kicked in. And so just some things like that would have really made me be like, oh, 10 out of 10, perfect game. But I mean, for what they set out to do, which is to remaster this game and re-put it out with better graphics, better, most things, better music, and like, I think they accomplished what they set out to do. It feels like a beat for beat remake. Even on the Rails levels, the music, there's like audio cues that when I hear a part of the song, I know that an enemy is gonna like pop out, and it's just like boom. Whoa. Like it's muscle memory, dude. And so like they nailed the timing and the speed of things, and when things pop in and leave, like it for the enthusiasts, man. Unless I'm completely misspeaking for everybody, like it's pretty faithful and well done. So I was pretty impressed.
This program is powered by Megadad's Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadads Boost.
when you're coming from it, like someone like me who played some of the game and not like, spent a whole lot of time to far from memorizing it. I just remember like stuff. Uh, it is great. Like I was thinking about like the variety in because there's a set number of like planets and locations that you go to, and like just like your objective, you know what I mean? It's like the story things happening, the objective things happening. You're always shooting, like it doesn't change, but at least there's like what's happening in front of you, right? Like when you go into all range mode, and then you have this thing where it's character driven enemies, and you have this squad that's against you. Like always something slightly different is happening. It's like an action movie almost, And I was like, this is like, it's just, it's so nostalgic for like what type of game it is, and like they worked as well as they could with what they had at the time, and it held up, which is why it's a good game, which is why it's remade so many times, and it's just a really good experience. I got it for the it was the pre-order with the $10 off, so you're right, talking about like money's worth. It's a value buy. Like there's a lot of replayability here, production value's high. It's just you have to be in the mood for that like arcade shooter. And again, someone like me not good at it, I want to play more. Like I would die, I would get through a level, and like there'd be frustration, but I wasn't upset that I was experiencing the level again, because it was that like, they go by fast, but it's almost like that's good because it can't like overstay its welcome, and it's still fresh the next time you see it. So again, I really enjoyed it. There were like little things I wish they would have added as well. Like once you get into the challenge mode, you have your objectives, like you said, and like, why are we doing it though? Do you know what it is except for like completionists? Because I was thinking that some skins or unlocking concept art, something like I don't really see the light really at the end of the tunnel there.
They don't always have. Like, I get what you're saying.
It's like check the box and like feel good about the achievement, basically. And they outline that.
Yeah, and for some people, like that's enough. Some people just want the challenge. They don't necessarily need it to be the most. Everything has a reward tied to it. But you're right. Like when I play the Lego Batman game that I've been playing, like everything I'm doing, I'm expecting to get some kind of skin or something in return. And so, but I think if you just go in knowing like you just want to get the check marks, it's like doing your daily tasks at work. You feel good getting the check marks. So that's kind of the way I see it. But I get where you're coming from. Is it would be nice if it had some kind of reward, and maybe there is. I don't know. I haven't gotten to the end of it, and so maybe you do get something. I have no idea. Should we talk about the multiplayer?
Yeah, let's talk about the multiplayer, because I was gonna forget about it, and I actually really like it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I probably need to spend still more time with it. Unfortunately, I didn't play it enough. I didn't have such a blast with it that I like kept feeling the pull back in. But you and I did play for a while together. Maybe about an hour's worth, and I had a decent time. I'll just speak for myself.
I had fun.
Yeah, and the voice chat and everything was working, and we were playing against other people, and it was rotating us through different modes. I don't see the longevity necessarily being there, but I think people will enjoy it for a while the game's still popular, but I don't know if it's got the legs. I did appreciate the different weapons. It's not just bombs, that there's different missiles and other things that you can equip and use. And so it felt a little more different and versatile, but I just don't know if the game modes hold enough interest to me to keep me wanting to come back. What were your thoughts?
I think when I go multiplayer, I think, is this fun and is this fair? And it's fun, like the shooting and the moving around, the using the weapons, like you said. There's these like missiles that are really cool to like shoot out, and it feels good to like knock others out. The competitive nature is there. But aside from like racking up the points, and doing the objective and being recognized for that on the reward screen, it's like, oh, I did the best of anyone here, the worst of anyone here. Aside from that, there's no like progression. Like again, it's so antiquated in its approach to multiplayer, in what anyone else besides Nintendo would be like, here's your rank, and you go up and you compete and you earn medals, and you unlock skins and all this stuff. Like they would add to their multiplayer mode. No, it's like, here, you play online multiplayer now the way we say, like just like this. Like only 3 game modes. But I didn't mind it. I don't know. They're rotating. You don't get to select them, and it just keeps it fresh. None of them were bad. None of them were exceptionally good. I remember saying at one point when we were playing, like, was there a tutorial? I don't think there was. I think there's just like a frozen screen that has some text on it that obviously doesn't do a good enough job explaining what's going on. And then you just kind of learn by doing it or looking it up. So yeah, I'm glad it's there. I want to play more because it's fun. I'm not going to take it super seriously, but yeah, in no way is it going to have lasting appeal, because why are you going to come back to this when no one else is playing? Which is going to be very soon because it's thin. But not bad by any means. The overall, it's just a great package. I would highly recommend this game, especially for someone who's like new to it at all, because that's kind of like where I'm coming from. A controversial thing I needed to bring up was, because I played so much Star Fox on Super NES, I was waiting for like my nostalgia to come back for other moments I thought were coming, because I was like, oh, is this from that game? When the R-Wings launch out of the large thing, I don't know what it's called, the bigger Star Fox spaceship.
I think it's called Star Fox.
So when you go out of the bay in the NES version, the original Star Fox, it's epic. It's like and it's like and you're just like going out. And this one, it's like I was waiting for the moment, and you're just kind of flying. You're already kind of like out. It's like when no fanfare whatsoever. I'm like, are you guys like, this is weird. I was like, that's when I was thinking, okay, what if you add those flourishes, because what's there is great, and the upgrades to what you're seeing is great, and the ideas of what they had to do, of like, oh, we're gonna do this, and like, you know, this is going to be an enemy, and this is the way you get through the level, and by the way, now this is going to change, and now you have to do this. I love the ideas that were presented, and like, if you're that creative with the source material being good, I was thinking they could do more stuff like that. I just thought there were some epic moments in Star Fox that I was like,
I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think the extra cutscenes are what you're saying, what are probably like, is it enough? That's arguable, but like, I appreciate they at least like tried to expand the mythos, and I'm hoping the reason they did that, and I think I've read more since we recorded and talked about this originally, I think that the plan, at last I heard, and hopefully this is true, is to build off of this, that this is kind of, and I'm assuming that's why it's called Star Fox and not Star Fox Switch or something. And it's just like, I'm hoping this is the groundwork. And so I'm hoping by adding these extra cutscenes and this dialogue and the voice acting and everything, that hopefully this means they're planning to make another one. So hopefully in like 2 or 3 years from now, we'll get a trailer for one, and maybe see one before the end of the Switch 2's life. Like that would be, maybe it'll be even sooner. Like that would be wild, but I don't want to hold my hopes up. But maybe they have the engine built now because they built this remake, and they can just use this engine to, maybe they're already working on it. Maybe we'll get a trailer next year. I don't know.
I'm excited for playing a game like this, where it's like short level, it's like an action scene, you know, just enough variety, like lots of flashing and like destroying stuff. I was just in the mood for this, and I want more. My takeaway on this is, yes, please give me another Star Fox. Wouldn't hurt if it was, I call it reasonably priced, but you know, $70 is like crazy right now. Again, I got it on the pre-order with the $10, and I felt like I was stealing. I was like, this is great. That's the world we're in today. Any other final thoughts, Clay?
No, I think I made it pretty clear. If you're a fan of the N64 game and you have a Switch 2, it's a no-brainer. But I'm sure a lot of people probably still don't have them, and so this game isn't going anywhere. It'll be around, and so you can pick it up eventually. But it's a great game, and it's worth every penny, in my opinion. There's a lot here, and I'm sure I'll be back to it. It'll probably be one that I'll pop in occasionally and play for a little bit, and then take it out. So it's a great one to have in your collection.
Megadads is for everyone who loves gaming and the community that surrounds it. We're all about fun, fully grown, and we want you to be a part of everything we've got going on here. So what do you get when you subscribe to youtube.com/Megadads? Weekly podcasts from your favorite Megadads personalities, reviews on the latest games, reaction and analysis on the latest industry news, Gameplay Thursday videos showing off what we do on the sticks, travel logs from our trips around the world, small talk segments where we try new things with our kids, live community events like our holiday specials, and so much more each and every single day. You don't want to miss a minute of the fun. New Megadads videos drop each and every weekday, whether it's our long-form content like Megadads Live, or maybe it's one of our short series like Off the Shelf, a look at retro gaming. Please subscribe to youtube.com/Megadads today and tell your friends to come too. We're building something great here at youtube.com/Megadads, so subscribe today and be a part of Fun Fully Grown. This is Megadads.
Oh, you know what that sound is, everybody? That's the sound of the caboose, where we bring a recommendation for something to you all outside the world of video games. It doesn't have to be outside the world of video games. It could be video games. It could be a game. It could be gaming related. But we want to recommend something to you that we've been doing, that we've been seeing, that we've been drinking. I'm going to do food today, a drink specifically. So I don't know if you've had this yet, Clay, but I heard on the radio this guy talking about on ESPN. He's like, hey, I went to a sporting event. They were giving out coconut Dr. Pepper. And he's like, it's amazing. Then Christina one day is like, have you heard of this? And brings it home, and it's amazing. Like by word of mouth, like she had heard of it about it as well. Has this reached you yet?
No,
Dr.
it has
Pepper
not.
coconut. So there's Dr. Pepper coconut. I think it might be zero sugar too. I'm almost positive, but try it. It's fantastic.
Put a little rum in there.
Yeah, do a little something, you know, after the kids go to bed, you know, maybe mom and dad are just like tossing around a little bit under the
There you go.
sheets. No, it turned into
Fingers
erotica. Okay.
Yeah,
So what do you
yeah.
think? What is your recommendation? Anything good? Have you been
Yeah.
eating anything, drinking anything,
So
watching anything?
I am reading something.
No way.
Yeah, man, coming in with a comic book recommendation today.
Oh.
Yeah, look out, nerds! Here I come. So the comic book series is called Battle Beast. It is set in the universe with Invincible. For those of you who have read those comics or seen the Amazon Prime or Prime Video original Invincible. Anyway, Battle Beast is this giant lion dude who's super big and buff, and he's super scary and intense. And he is in the show Invincible, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but at one point in the show, he just shows up and starts beating everybody up to a bloody pulp. And he basically says, these people aren't worth my time. I'm leaving. And he jumps in a portal and he leaves. And then this comic book starts right after he leaves. And so it's this whole story of him. And so Battle Beast's whole thing is that he helps basically conquer his home planet and help his people reclaim their planet. And in doing so, he becomes so bloodthirsty that he can't just be normal anymore. It ruins him. And so he leaves the planet a hero, but he goes out into the universe to find somebody who is so powerful that they kill him. His goal is to seek the person who is more powerful and strong than him, a better warrior that will kill him. That is his end goal. He wants to die, but he will not die until someone betters him in battle. And so that's what this comic is him just going around random planets and battling these big old beasts and killing them. It's super gory and bloody, and he's just this big lion with this sword that he gets that's super cool. Oh man, I'm loving it. I started reading it really randomly. I'm in late, I'm on I think it's issue 20 that they're at now.
What?
But then I grabbed the trade paperback of the first few issues and started reading backwards, and now I'm collecting old issues and reading new ones. I've been watching Invincible, so I'm re-addicted to that again. Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm just having a great time. So even if you don't you don't know what Invincible is, or you don't care about any of that, it's still a really cool comic, even if you don't know anything about Invincible. He's just such a cool character, and he's kind of rude to people, but he still lets people kind of tag along in his adventures. So he kind of has a ragtag crew that he rolls with, but he doesn't care about them. He just wants to battle really strong people. And so it's just a really fun, interesting character. And so I'm really enjoying it. I'm really addicted, and I'm trying to buy all the different covers that they've put out. And oh man, it's a blast.
I had no idea that this existed, that Battle Beast, because Battle Beast is in the superhero show Invincible on Amazon. It's great. Again, I recommend that. Invincible, I stopped after season 1, I think, and I just was like, haven't gone back yet. But it's basically like uber violent. It's from Robert Kirkman. He's done other like amazing like stuff in shows and TV and comics and stuff. But Invincible is great. Battle Beast is an amazing character in that show. So this is really cool. I'm gonna send you. Well, you have to look at the covers, because they are amazing. There are some amazing comic book covers for Battle. It's Invincible Universe Battle Beast. Great recommendation, Clay. What a recommendation out of the park on that one.
Boom.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another exciting episode of Mega Dads Live. Don't forget, Mega Dads are going to 2D Con in the Twin Cities area in August, and we will see you there. 2D Con live show. Actually live, Megadads live at 2D Con. It's our Megadads World Tour is what we're calling it. So we will see you all there. We'll be doing plenty of show stuff. We're talking about everything we're going to do, but we're going to meet lots of cool people and have fun. So we're gonna do that. All right, we'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one.